Accueillir votre présidente, Madame Debi Daviau.
Friends, colleagues, welcome to our 98th Annual General Meeting. Our theme this year is Best in the World, and with good reason. Earlier this year, an international study concluded that Canadians have the most effective public service in the world. I think we have one of the most effective unions too, don't you? Consider just 3 things we've accomplished in the past year. Together, we negotiated provisions to protect against the muzzling of scientists. Together, we secured collective agreement language to reduce the federal government's over-reliance on outsourcing. And together, we saved the federal sick leave system and created an opportunity for genuine negotiations on meaningful improvements. But that's not all. La Régie des hôpitaux de Yukon a signé sa première entente négociée et les procureurs de Nouveau-Brunswick ne sont plus les moins bien payés du pays. Les membres du groupe professionnel de technologie de l'information de l'Université d'Ottawa ont récemment conclu une entente de principe avec leur employeur, évitant une grève. Et nos victoires n'ont pas été remportées qu'à la table de négociation. Le réinvestissement dans l'Agence de revenus du Canada que nous réclamions depuis si longtemps est enfin prévu dans le budget fédéral. Nos protestations contre le projet de loi C-27 qui menaçait les pensions fédérales à prestations définies, une des meilleures protections du revenu de retraite de la classe moyenne, ont atteint leur cible. A lot of these efforts and achievements are vital not just only to our members, but as Alex Himmelfarb has said, to the common good. Our members, like most Canadians, don't want us bogged down in small, inward-looking struggles. They want and need us to fight the bigger battles that benefit them and everyone. The work we have done advocating public interest bargaining, fashioning common demands, and building solidarity amongst our groups has served our members and Canadians very well. More science and evidence-based public policy benefit everyone. So does a tax system that can tackle offshore tax havens. So does a government that hires full-time, permanent, unionized professionals. The model of collective action represented by our Strategic Bargaining Committee, therefore, needs to continue. It needs to continue so that we can fight more effectively for our members on issues such as real job security, better sick leave, stronger pensions, and set a path that others in the country can also follow. C'est ce que je vais continuer à défendre à 2018 à titre de présidente de l'Institut et de nouvelle vice-présidente du comité exécutif du Congrès du travail du Canada. Je suis très fière de ce que nous avons accompli cette année et de ce que nos membres réalisent tous les jours pour les Canadiens. Je me dis que d'autres méritent d'apprendre cette bonne nouvelle et de s'en réjouir. For that reason, we launched this year the first of a new publication, Better Together, which showcases our members, the variety of work that they do, and the value that they bring to Canadians. We've given a copy to every MP. We've also produced a set of accompanying videos, and you'll see some of these, as you did just before, on the screens at different points throughout the AGM. And we've launched an ad campaign in bus shelters, office buildings, and online. But celebrating our title as the best public service in the world isn't enough. We have work to do together to keep our #1 status. The Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives reported last year that the federal government is the smallest it's been since before the Second World War. That needs to change if we're to meet the challenges of the future. So we've continued to work hard and convince the federal government to invest more in Canada's public service. In our pre-budget consultation submission to the Federal Finance Committee, we called on government to do three things: to restore Canada's public science capacity, to reduce over-reliance on outsourcing of government services, and to ensure the integrity of our tax system. Like most things worth doing, these require money, but most of all, they require us to convince politicians. So late last month, we took that message directly to MPs on the Hill. I know we are going to be rocking and rolling on the Hill tomorrow. Hi, I'm Debi Daviau. I'm president of the Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada. This is a big day for us, a political action day. We're making sure our voices are heard in Parliament. There are three key messages we're bringing with us. 1, end over-reliance on outsourcing. Outsourcing costs the government money, jobs, accountability, and productivity. Just look to the failure of the Phoenix pay system.
Hi, my name is Stan Boudet, and I'm the president of the CS Group. The federal government makes up one of the largest IT enterprises in the country. Why outsource work our own professionals should do?
Hi, I'm Joanne Bouchard. I'm currently the SH Group President for the Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada. I'm a registered nurse. I work for Health Canada, First Nations Inuit Health in Northern Manitoba. Insource first and reduce outsourcing to 2005-2006 levels by 2019-2020.
2, restore public science and basic research. It's time to rebuild Canada's public science capacity.
I'm Wahid Khan. I'm the president of the National Consultation Team at Environment and Climate Change Canada. I work in the National Capital Region. Hire more scientists and researchers to replace the 1,500 federal scientists lost prior to 2015. Invest in government scientific capacity.
3, tax fairness. Canadians' faith in the fairness and impartiality of the tax system will be stronger once offshore tax havens and large corporate tax evaders are held to account.
Hello et bonjour. My name is Marvin Magana. I am IT Zone President for PIPS for the Computer Sciences in the Pacific region, and I also work as an Infrastructure Support Analyst for Canada Revenue Agency. A commitment of $400 million annually to enhance the CRA's ability to target tax haven abuse, corporate tax avoidance, and evasion. Investments in training and technology to keep pace with tax cheats.
Au niveau du nombre d'employés, par rapport aux premières années des conservateurs, la réforme économique, je le fais à travers des réductions d'impôts sur le revenu et non pas sur le taxe de vente.
Je m'appelle Mona Lisa Dumé, je suis infirmière pour le Service correctionnel du Canada et je vis au Québec. Restaurer l'intégrité scientifique, l'équité fiscale et la sous-traitance. Ce sont des enjeux importants pour nos membres et pour tous les Canadiens.
We enjoy the relationship with PIPS and the organization. We're looking forward to working together to better serve Canadians.
I certainly appreciate the role of all of our scientists. We have the best and the brightest of the public service working here in Canada.
We successfully met with over 30 members of Parliament, mostly today, a couple meetings yesterday. We truly appreciated the way we've been received, and we hope that this is just the first of many meetings to help us help Canadians to be all that they can be. We're out here changing people's minds, and that's really important because we're fighting for the critical services that Canadians rely on. I love it when ministers pose for a photo holding our message. There's no doubt that we've made a lot of progress on many fronts, but there's one particular issue which a lot more progress needs to be made. We all know the one. The best public service in the world deserves far better than the Phoenix payroll system. As of August the 8th, 156,035 federal employees, that's more than half of the public service, had opened a file about incorrect payment in Phoenix. And the problem has not gotten any better. Yesterday, the government informed employees by email that there are now over 500,000 outstanding transactions. Meanwhile, contract costs with IBM have grown from $5.7 million in 2011 when IBM was hired to develop and implement Phoenix to $185 million in 2017. Of course, what the numbers don't tell us are the stories of stressed out employees, some of whom have gone months without any pay at all. Au printemps dernier, l'Institut a déposé 2 griefs de principe contre l'employeur. C'est le seul recours juridique dont nous disposons pour le contraindre à réparer Phoenix et indemniser correctement tous nos membres touchés. Nous avons déposé 3 autres griefs collectifs cet automne. Quand le gouvernement fédéral n'a pas respecté ses obligations de mettre en œuvre la nouvelle convention collective des membres du groupe AV, RE et SP. Nous sommes sur le point de déposer 2 autres griefs collectifs semblables au nom, des griefs semblables au nom des membres du groupe CS et SH. Et ça, c'est en plus d'avoir aidé littéralement des milliers de membres et à déposer des griefs individuels dont à plusieurs ont été réglés. De plus, nous avons écrit au ministre et nous les avons rencontrés. Nous avons réussi à faire valoir que les membres doivent se faire rembourser leurs dépenses légitimes. Nous avons travaillé avec les médias pour qu'ils continuent d'attirer l'attention du public sur le problème. Et nous avons offert des prêts aux employés les plus durement touchés. Nous avons organisé des manifestations et nous avons exercé des pressions avec succès pour que plus d'argent soit consacré à la réparation du système Phoenix. In late June, I met with the new ministerial working group responsible for fixing Phoenix. I made a case for closer collaboration between the government and some of our CS group members in finding solutions. I still hope this will lead not only to the eventual Phoenix fixes, but also for a better appreciation of our members' professional contribution and a change in the government's outsourcing practices. But here's the thing. No one I know likes Phoenix. No one. Our members don't like it. We don't like it. Taxpayers don't like it. Rick Mercer doesn't like it. And clearly the Senate doesn't like it. I'm sure the ministerial working group set up to fix it doesn't like it much either. Clearly, so why defend it? Phoenix doesn't work because it wasn't designed to work for an operation as large and complex and, let's face it, as subject to shifting ideological and economic pressures as the federal public service. That's not the fault of the public service, and it's certainly not the fault of collective bargaining. It's the fault of the people from the last government who wanted to cut payroll costs and hire for-profit contractors. And it's the fault of the current government for not seeing the error of the last government's ways soon enough to pull the plug. And it's the fault of blind faith or dumb policy in endlessly renewed and ever-expanding corporate contracts. About the only people who really like Phoenix are those who stand to profit from it. So why are we surprised? Earlier this month, we did a quick informal poll of our members and asked them, do you think Phoenix can be fixed? 87% said no. And no one should be surprised of that result. I'm certainly not. But That's why earlier this week I put the challenge to the government to forget Phoenix, cut its losses, and invest in building a new system. One that's tested, one that's built by and for public servants. It could be based on the same PeopleSoft program. It won't be cheap, and it won't be built overnight, but it will be cheaper, and it will be faster and more effective in the long run than forever patching a faulty system that was programmed to fail from the start. And perhaps most importantly, it will work. In the meantime, our members need to be paid, and paid properly. And the only way that seems possible is for the government to spend the money needed to hire more staff now to assist members with their payroll problems. And that's why we're asking our members of consultation teams to meet with management in the workplace and issue one simple demand. Either hire more staff to assist our members or face more grievances. Until a new system that works can actually be built by our members, our only hope for a real solution to these ongoing problems is through hiring more staff or the threat of more grievances. Our stewards are critical to this initiative, so we've prepared a special Phoenix Grievance Toolkit that will be available to them online through their portal accounts starting this Monday, November 20th. These kits will guide stewards step by step in helping members file more grievances when and where they're needed. Nous soutenons depuis le début que les problèmes de Phoenix sont causés par le recours excessif à la sous-traitance. L'espoir d'arranger Phoenix est entre les mains des informaticiens fédéraux et non de ceux de IBM. L'espoir d'avoir un système qui fonctionne à plus long terme repose aussi sur la conception et la mise en œuvre de nouveaux systèmes par les professionnels fédéraux. Et tout espoir de retrouver des solutions immédiates dépend de nos efforts à forcer le gouvernement à embaucher maintenant plus de personnel, faute d'avoir plus de griefs. This doesn't need to be a story with an unhappy ending. We've seen what we can do when we work together. We've bargained successfully to prevent the muzzling of scientists, to reduce outsourcing, and to save sick leave. We can apply the same concerted pressure to save our members from Phoenix. We have the skills and resources as union members, Canadians, and public employees to make a difference in our members' and others' lives. In fact, one of the most hopeful new tools that PIPS launched recently is the new website action.pips.ca, specifically for members looking to get more involved in PIPS. It features notices of special member events, activities, surveys, and other ways you can get involved in your union. You can watch video interviews with the members profiled in Better Together. You can also sign our online petition calling for the government to invest more in Canada's public service. You can also, and listen, this is very important, visit this website address today on your screen. Sorry. And email the ministerial working group to tell them it's time to build a pay system that works. As of this morning, we had 4,000 members send an email to ministers. That's the largest online mobilization of members we've organized yet. Member engagement in such actions is important because however effective we may be individually, our ultimate success as public service professionals is measured by what we can do together. Better Together is no longer just a slogan. It's a promise, a measure of our collective success. As our accomplishments of the past year and the challenges before us demonstrate, we all have a stake in ensuring that we remain better together. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
We will now open the floor to questions. Please limit your questions to the